Here we go. Shotguns do not belong in video games. I cannot think of one game/one shotgun that was skillful, but most importantly, fun to use. It is a weapon put in games for the sole purpose of catering to cowards. So it's important to get some perspective on the issue. This guy is a professional Call of Duty Warzone player, in which I have read that shotguns are actually not balanced. However, he did go back and later say that this was meant for multiplayer shotguns only. However, COD is not Quake. There are differences, and I'm going to attempt to go over and go through some different things of why I think this is a huge generalization of a tweet. Although the first shooter is credited to be Maze War back in 1974, if we talk shotgun, we gotta start out with none other than Doom. Debuting on December 10th, 1993, with the shotgun in the first level, it's become an iconic staple of FPS games today, and probably will be forever. It's the industry standard, the workhorse, Old Faithful. It'll do what you need, and when you need it. We'll get into the skill argument, as some people may say, well, this is just a point-and-click gun, and it practically does function as a sniper rifle, which you can actually shoot a lot further than you should be able to with a shotgun. Of course, classic Doom is basic by modern video game standards, as it's nearly 30 years old by now. That's not too ancient, keep in mind. Now, one of his claims is that the shotguns take no skill, and I'll address that here in just a moment, but it's really the fun factor we gotta look into. But if we do talk about Doom shotguns, you know there's one that has changed gaming forever. And I'd be remiss not to mention the one, the only, Super Shotgun of Doom 2. It's like id Software said, hey, this gun rocks, but what if we had two of it in one? And then they were like, yup, let's do it. And the Super Shotgun was born. Now, although it's no dual wield, which we'll address that later, it has without a doubt had an impact, as other FPS games have adopted it. The SSG is such a powerhouse that you can't ignore it. The moment you grab the thing, you don't want to stop using it. Eliminating many enemies in just a single shot, this thing is massive. Now, to address some points that this tweet has, I'm going to give a hard disagree with the no fun factor. Sure, some people may not like how OP it is, and I get that, but it's a cool gun, especially with what the modern series has turned it into. I'll definitely be showing you that here in just a minute. Skill-wise with the shotgun, there is something to be gathered from that. You do have to get up close, unless it's a single shotgun of Doom. That thing's practically a sniper rifle, whereas your enemies have more range on you, so it is ideally a risk-reward type situation, especially in the new Doom. Doom 2016 took it up a notch, and with being able to narrow the cone of your super shotgun, you were able to get more accuracy and distance. Once mastered, you could fire off 2 shells twice before reloading. They called it the double trouble mastery. You maxed out at like 60 shells before running out, so you can only imagine the power that this thing had. Not to mention it was easy to refill with ammo. Both of these things together make a perfect storm, and probably one reason why Doom Eternal drastically lowered ammo counts. Now when it comes to 2016, I do have to mention the shotgun combo. One weapon loadout is regular shotgun and SSG. I can see how some people may not like this, though you would have to get closer to the enemies to make this work. But make no mistake, if you do, the power is immense. But, as mentioned, you do have to get close. However, we have to realize, this is so important, and probably one of the most important things in this entire video, that multiplayer is much different than single player, both in balancing for, well, balance, and keeping fun. That being said, devs should look at each role that every single weapon holds and how it needs to fit that role, not just the shotgun, but everything and how everything else will work with the shotguns. Another game that is worthy is Dusk. It also has an SSG, but you can flip this one around. That adds an extra cool factor, though I can't forget about the single shotgun as well. Not only can you flip it, as you can all other weapons, you can dual wield it and continue to flip it. Come on, man. Now, Wolfenstein did this too, of course. Now, I haven't really heard any complaints from it. Okay, it may not be super realistic, but it's fun we're having here. So speaking of dual wield, I've not played it myself, but Blood had dual wielding super shotguns, so you could go like boom, 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 back to back. And if that isn't enough, but wait, there's more, the Doom for Doom fan mod for the game has the dual wield super shotguns, and the mastery, if you think back to 2016, is called Double Trouble, where you go boom, 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 like that. So it's almost like a drum paradiddle kind of thing. It's crazy. Fans have even gone further with the Too Many Super Shotguns mod, but I'll let you be the judge of that. I mean, this is a little ridiculous here, honestly. Most games would not actually put this in here. This is a fan-made mod, but I just kind of wonder, what would they say about this one? But my favorite of them all, one that absolutely requires skill to use, well, I'll let him introduce himself. Say hello to my little friend. Yes, the Doom Eternal Super Shotgun is truly something special. It's back to a single shot of the 2 shells, but the meat hook is attached. Grab onto any enemy and fling yourself across the arena. Mobility has never been better. Or just fly over to an enemy and give him a quick snack of shells. Now, critics may say the meat hook could have gone on any weapon. And to that, I reply, no way. The SSG means that if you fly across the map, you aren't close enough for the hit. If you do get close, you have to take advantage of the game's falter system, which is basically like a mini stun lock. And by the way, most enemies will be surprised when you grab onto them with the hook. Just make sure you're clear from them, and if so, you are rewarded with mega damage. And another thing that you cannot forget about when you're talking about shotguns, and we're going to use this game as an example here, Duke Nukem 3D. Yes, this is my original 1996 mouse pad. It's a little ripped and torn right now. The iconic stature of these guns, like I mentioned earlier. In Duke 3D, what difference would the game have without it? It'd be a huge thing. Think about all these games, Doom, Blood, that we talked about before. Without the shotgun, you're missing a key part of the game. Like these in this game are the ones that you shoot the pig cops for, and they drop them and it's got the little insignia on the side. And it's just a powerful weapon. You have your pistol and your chain gun. This gives you a whole other ammo type to use. It's a whole purpose. The pistol doesn't do it. The rocket's different. The chain gun's different. The shrink ray, the freeze, all those are different purposes than the shotgun has. And it's not even like it's OP. You get it early in the game in all of these games. And it's not something that just blows through enemies left and right. It's not like that. It is an important part of FPS history. I'm going to say it again. It is an important part of FPS history. It seriously is. And to just neglect that off of a hot take viewpoint on Twitter, man, it's just not cool. And like I said, I understand it was multiplayer that he was talking about. So let's talk about Quake Champions for a second. That shotgun's not super powerful. To my knowledge, people don't select it when they're starting out. It's not always an issue with the shotgun. It's an issue of the balancing in your particular issue, in your particular game. And even, I have heard people say, hey, use tactics to counteract that shotgun. Use something, since you're an elite player, to go against it. I don't know. I've just been around the FPS scene since the 90s, and I've never heard this kind of complaint. Now, I understand other people have different viewpoints, and I do respect that. I just don't think it's a great idea to write off a whole FPS iconic center point and piece over one Twitter tweet. Thankfully, he did say he meant multiplayer. However, I just feel like there's more to discuss than this. You know what I mean when you think about that? And here's the thing though, this video could be literal hours long if I talked about every single FPS shotgun, and I know I've missed a bunch. So even though shotguns may not be balanced or the most fun option in his world, to him, could he really be writing off a whole genre of games based off this experience? What about having a counter to those shotguns? What about doing another thing in the game to go against them? Even just looking at only multiplayer shotguns, could it be that all of them aren't bad? Now, granted, yes, if there is imbalance, it does need fixed, but you gotta try and keep an open mind. Am I the only one who thinks this? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like videos like this. Follow me on Twitch to see them live. My name is Allstin. Thank you so much to the channel supporters and Nightmare Tier Jaden. I'll see you in the next video.